Hello and welcome to another segment of Own It with Ovi. I'm your host as usual. Today's topic of discussion is navigating adulthood and entrepreneurship, part 2. And our guest speaker is an entrepreneur, professional photographer, and a creative director. Please welcome with me Oluyaimagery. I hope I got it correct. And it's a pleasure having you on today's segment. Please go ahead and tell us about yourself. Who is Oluyaimagery?
Yeah, so my name is Oluyaimagery.
Okay.
Professional photographer, creative director at Oluyaimagery. I prefer to be called Oluya, actually. So
all right.
I've always changed my first name to Oluya. So yeah.
So okay, yeah.
Oluyaimagery is just, like I said, a professional photo studio that we do with all types of photography, and then from events, portraits, Polaroid, and all sorts. So that's what we do.
Okay. Can you tell me what the job of a creative director is?
A creative director actually is basically anyone who creates a set, who creates a set design, who is like a content creator, basically.
Okay.
So if you're a content creator, you are basically a creative director. So but in the sense of photography, a creative director is one who directs a particular session. Yeah, so that's basically what a creative director is when it comes to photography.
Okay, I get that. Thank you for sharing. All right, so photography is the act or practice of taking and processing images for different purposes, right? So what would you say sparked your interest in this field? Was it like an hobby, or it was about you chasing the bag?
Yeah, actually it started as an hobby.
Yeah.
But you know this country that we are now, you just have to survive. So
yeah,
it started as an hobby, and then at the long run, papa and everything. So you just have to like make an ends meet along the line. So basically, it was just it was passion at the long run, and then I had to like add some spice to it. You can't just do it for passion; you still have to make money. So, but it all started as a passion.
Okay. So what has it been like? You being a professional photographer, go ahead and like share your experience. What you have experienced in the entertainment world.
Well, if I tell you it's been smooth, then I'll be lying. It's never been an easy thing, but then all occupation, all job, whatever it is that you do, we all have our ups and downs. We all have we all have our challenges and changes. So, but what I feel has been a basic challenge for me is how do I put it? Pitching my products to people out there. Where when you tend to like want to gain more audience, but actually I'm a shy person. I'm not social. I'm not. But then it got to me to a certain stage that I could not. I felt that I wasn't like reaching my audience enough. You understand? So I go back to my drawing board. Like, okay, what is it that I'm not doing right? How do I really need to like pitch my products? That is my picture, my jobs, to my craft actually to my audience. So and then I discovered that most content it basically has to be like, how do I put it? You really need to be like a content creator. People just like go to your page, see what's going on there, and then they probably just does not like it, and then just scroll onto other things. But then I figured out that most people now try to infuse content creation into their craft.
Yes, yes,
And that's where
yes,
you see photographers having a vlog, having a podcast, having she gets.
yes.
But I'm still trying to get my confidence rate to that level. So you understand. So for now, I'm still trying my best.
Yeah, and I'm sure that your best is working out for you. Everything
Mm,
takes time
yeah,
as well, but definitely
yeah.
it's working out for you. So I wanted to ask this question from a personal experience. So, what is your style of photography? Because I used to be a model, right? And I've worked
Okay.
with lots of photographers, and I noticed that they had different ways about how they go about with their photography. You know, there's a particular guy I had this shoot with. He prefers to take his shoot in monochromes. So tell me, what's your
Yeah.
own style?
Um, my style of photography is just basically portraits.
Oh,
I'm a portrait photographer.
okay.
But then, excuse me. But then you don't just have to like stick with one style of photography, because that is not just what photography is all about. You get me? So,
Okay.
but I just got to like figure a way around my own style of photography. And okay, I'm a portrait photographer, but that doesn't mean that when you have a wedding, an event job, you won't take it. When you have
True.
a documentary to shoot, you won't take it. When
True.
you have you still have to like go into other
Yes.
aspects or genres of
Yes.
photography. But
Yes.
then know your style. I love
Yes.
portraits a lot. Yeah, I love portraits. So I do portraits most times. That's why I tend to post most portrait pictures on my page
On your page
than
and
events
all that shoot.
because but then I at some point I got to realize that you are not just for one particular market, you are for
Mm-hmm.
everybody. You understand? So by posting by pitching only portrait to the audience out there makes you a portrait photographer, yes. But then um like I said earlier, you need to survive in this country. That was what brought
So you
about
still
all
need to
that.
be diverse.
So
As well as
that
myself, I believe more of like I want to do more of interior decoration, like setting up the place from scratch and all that. But as you
mm,
said, with the country situation, I also have to diverse into selling, other interior needs, any furniture
like
piece,
that
shop
that's
for you. If you're
you
already
just have to make this
if you're
money in
already
this
moved in,
country.
you want to do something else, you're cut, every other thing I can do the cutting, even though I would have preferred, be the one to have started up the whole interior so that you have a good
Mm-hmm.
look at what my idea is from the beginning. So I understand that as well. So I want to ask, what do you find most challenging about being a photographer and a creative director? How would you say your journey has been so far?
My journey so far, if I decide to go into down right now, we won't end this like an hour actually. But I'll just make it brief. I started
Okay.
photography I started photography in the year 2017, but officially when I adopted the name Oluyaimagery was 2019. And it was
Okay.
somehow people usually think it was yes, Oluya is Oluya. Yes, the meaning of Oluya means in my language is Oluya in
Yeah.
my language is a photographer. She understand. But
Okay.
then what actually brought about Oluyaimagery was when I started photography in the late 2017. That was I think November or so. I took a picture of my cousin, and in my house back then they used to call me
Mm.
by my first name, my surname rather. So my surname
Okay.
starts from OLU. You understand? My surname starts from OLU, and then
OLU.
yeah, like in Olubajo, like I rightly said,
Yeah.
Olubajo. So they when my aunt now asked who took the picture, my cousin was like telling her that it was Olubajo that took the picture. Olubajo
Okay.
Loya in Yoruba, Olubajo Loya. So
Yeah.
that was why I coined the Olubajo Loya that turned
Yeah.
to Oluya. But initially Oluya has its own meaning. She
Okay.
understands initially has which means a photographer. But then so starting photography 2017 has actually been a tough. There was a particular time that I got involved in robbery. I lost all my gadgets, and I had to like start from the scratch again. So you understand? That was 2018, just like barely a year after I started photography. All the money that I saved from NYC back then, like everything, like you understand, it was just taken away like that. So I had to like start from scratch again. That was one of the reasons that brought about a change of name, like rebranding.
Okay,
So
I see,
I
yeah.
had to like, okay, let me just switch and make myself better. I think I was like, okay, maybe God was trying to pass a message to me, like, okay, guy, you need to like start afresh.
Redirect.
You understand, redirect. Yeah.
Yeah.
So ever since then, it's been portraits, and at the long run, I was like, guy, if you stick to this portrait like this, you don't go proof it for table. So you understand? Like, okay.
Yeah.
I started shooting events. I started with my family members actually. I didn't like the outcome. I was like, well, you need to start somewhere now, somehow. You understand?
True.
So at the long run, I started like developing myself. But the most challenging thing I find about this photography thing is the retouching aspect. I will not lie.
Oh.
The retouching aspect is actually, because it's not easy. It's not easy sitting right in front of your monitor, your laptop, or whatever it is that you're using to retouch pictures for hours, and then you can imagine spending 45 minutes on a picture.
I can imagine.
And instead of like about 10 of them for a particular client, 3 of them for a certain client, 2 for a certain you get. Yeah. So it's just like it's been challenging. So but then we've gotten over with that. We've blended in, and then it's just been smooth afterwards. Adapting. You just have to adapt now. This is Nigeria. Nigeria teaches you have just to adapt to anything.
Have to grow a thick skin for any situation.
I swear.
So how let me ask this question rather. Do you accept criticism? For instance, you do your beauty or your product shoot for a client, and he or she is not satisfied. So how do you feel when your work is being criticized in such situation regarding the fact that you spent hours, retouching, editing, and trying to perfect the picture?
Yeah, I like this question actually, because I always tell my clients, like, I'm open to criticism. Like, you can criticize, you can, and at the same time always give reviews.
Yeah.
And then my reaction to just like that, my reaction to criticism is always weighs me down, because I always feel bad because I did not satisfy. It's not as if the job was not good, but I always want to satisfy the client. Whatever, this is what you want. Even if it's what I don't want, this is what you want.
Yeah.
I might not end up posting that picture on my page because it's not actually what I want. I might do a particular for myself, but I always want to like satisfy my client. Like, okay, this is what you want. I'm going to get it done for you. At the end of the day, your client is happy and wants to come back. That is my goal. Share that. And so if you tell me you should have done this, you should have done it this way, it's your best knowledge. That's what you feel. Nobody's an island. We learn every day. So if you tell me that's not, so I relate a lot with my photographer colleagues, and then I always like tap from their own knowledge, and then I just want to like gain knowledge from every one of them like that. So it's just basically I'm open to criticism. I'm open to, at the same time, if you want to criticize, please give some credit too. Let it just balance.
Right.
So,
bring the good news first.
Bring the good news first. I like a client that just tell me, the pictures are nice, but okay, yes, after you've told me it's nice, but you could have just like done it this way, then okay, yes, don't worry. Is that what you want? I'll do it for you, and I get it. At the end of the day, everybody's happy.
At the end of
but then there are some clients that they are all, I don't know. Let me not describe them the way I will describe them on live video, because they are always like adamant. Their coconut head is what they put it. Yeah, but you can never satisfy them. You just, and this thing, this thing just gets on my nerve and gets on my nerve and gets. You might imagine going back to a picture you are supposed to be done with when you have other job to do, and then you still like keep coming back, keep coming back. It's actually frustrating, but then what can we do? I will choose this job.
They're still exactly, and definitely, even if you're not even offering even if you're not rendering any service, rather, it's still difficult to please even your own friend or your family member or even your spouse. So at the end of the day, when someone is paying you for something, and then there are people with some specific reasons they want to do, they will like perfectionists, like, no, there's this
So
is why
excuse me,
it
I'm
shouldn't
with
have
you.
been here. Sure, and all that. So that situation always give us the chance as an entrepreneur, with the fact that we love what we are doing. Aside from the money alone, there's passion to it.
Aside from
We
the money,
want
yes,
to
I can tell
satisfy
you,
that
even I
client.
can tell you that I can tell you the number of free jobs that I've done when I started photography. You will know that this was coming from a place of passion. So that
Exactly.
the client will just say, guy, I've done shoots for 500 naira per picture before. 500 naira per
Really?
picture way back in 2017.
Were you
It just,
printing it in hard copy or just the soft copy?
you know those clients that wanted to pay you 500 naira per copy will still come back and just for a copy. I'll be like,
I know.
guy, no, now it's not done. Go wrong. See again, but then you will just see that it was coming from a place of passion, because when those jobs were just like those times actually, anything I say I will shoot. I
Right.
can shoot anything. Like, you just bring a camera and start shooting anything. But then the workload is not getting too much. Just like,
Yeah.
okay, this one does not matter to me
Now,
anymore.
yeah.
And just
Yes,
like,
concentrating
you
on them.
understand, but it was coming from a place of passion. Like, passion just brought about this whole photography thing, and then
I
the
guess.
money coming too.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's also chasing the bag at the end of the day. That's why we
At
are
the end of the day,
business-minded
yeah.
people. So I
Yeah.
wanted to ask, what's the relationship between age or adulthood and entrepreneurship from your own point of view? What's your take on that?
Yeah. Age and entrepreneurship, like, have to, let me say, it depends on what age bracket we're talking about now, actually,
Okay.
because I think in the normal setting,
Mm-hmm.
in a civilized country, in a civilized country, your adulthood starts from the age of, let's say, 20 to 21, all through to the age of 60, 65. You
Yeah.
understand? But at the age of 65, you're supposed to have retired on a normally. You're supposed to have retired, then, like, just sit down. Your children are supposed to be the one who is catering for you, or if you are a
Yeah.
civil servant, then pension starts rolling in a civilized country. But then you still wake up, and go out there when any day in this legal, and you still see you see a man or a woman of about
Yeah.
70 years old, still trying to make an ends meet,
I know.
and ends meet for himself, or probably for his, I don't know, but at least he wants to make money. Chef, I'll be like, my mom used to tell me that. Okay, my mom used to tell me that, I cannot just sit down at home. I used to like get something to do at the age of 65. She understand that, like, she was like, okay, now the age is not trained on her. The age is
Mm-hmm.
not trained on her. She did not now have any choice but than to just sit down at home and then let the children bring in money for her. She understands.
Right.
So
Right.
at age and entrepreneur is like goes interwoven, because at a certain stage, in my, I don't know how to put it in English, but
Okay,
I will
put it
explain
in
it.
Yoruba.
I'll say it in Yoruba. It says that Igbara Lambura. Igbara Lambura means that you should, like, you should, like, when you have the energy and the strength to work, that is when you should work. You understand? So if you're saying age and entrepreneurship, it's
Mm-hmm.
they kind of go in parallel lines. Like, they have to go together. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Because that is when you can actually work and make money for yourself. But when you're getting to the age, your retirement age, there's nothing like entrepreneur in your age again. Just go and sit down. Do you understand? Just go and sit down. What are you doing again?
Supposed to be sharing your experience by that time.
Share your experience by that time. What are you doing at the age of 65 still now you making? But within Nigeria now.
Give Nigeria a little credit now.
What do you say?
Give Nigeria a little credit. You've criticized it.
I wish I can, seriously. I wish I can give this my country
Right.
actually credit, but then what can we do? We are trying. Well, our country is trying in their own ways. At least we still have some of our so-called politicians that are supposed to be at home that are still in the government houses. So how do you they're not ready to retire? Those are the people that we are saying. Yeah. So age and entrepreneurship, quote unquote, as in Nigeria, are two different things in this country actually. So
right. Yeah. So I think, like, for me though, I think the link between the adulthood and entrepreneurship is having the sense of responsibility and tolerance.
Yeah.
And also having accumulated experience, as I was just saying as well. And for that, I believe that the positive aspect in that way is that when an entrepreneur gets older, they have more knowledge. They have more experience on how to manage a firm, how you can own more capitals and social resources. And with all this experience you've accumulated to the time you're getting old, as we are saying, that you're supposed to be retiring, by that time it's for you to take the back seat and, manage and give other people the chance to also explore and be able to, achieve more at their own younger age as well. Yeah. So I feel the relationship there will be sense of responsibility, tolerance, and also experience as well. Yeah. So let me ask, in your own words, why do you adults perceive or regard entrepreneurship with passion? You made the same statement earlier as well.
Sapa. Quote unquote, Sapa. You just have to see if you the fear of getting broke, the fear of getting broke will actually make you like sit tight with your whatever it is that you are doing. The fear of getting broke. Nobody wants to see if at your age, at whatever age that you are, you don't want to like be at anybody's mercy before you could sort of get some things done. True. I can tell you that there are a lot of people that does not view their craft, that don't do their craft with passion.
Yeah.
I know a couple of people that have actually like neglected their craft just because the picture they painted before they went into that craft wasn't coming to reality, and just like make the switch. My first year as a photographer, I wasn't making money now. I wasn't making money, but then I still like stick to it. You understand? I wasn't making money, and it was so tough back then, 2017, 2018, when everything was like coming up again. Then COVID came again, and then you get true. It was just like, but I still stood my ground. Like, this is what I wanted. And I always tell anybody, I don't pray for anything that will make me drop my camera. I cannot drop my camera for no reason. So see, you ask me to drop my camera. That's that you want me to drop my camera for. Let me add it to it. Let me add it to it. Exactly. Because it's coming from a place of passion. I had that passion before I picked up my camera and said, okay, this is what I want to do. So Sapa is see, if Sapa owed anybody, like, grip you very well, you sit tight. So the fear of getting broke. The fear of getting broke is just like the basic of understand.
The fear of not having to make ends meet, as an adult, or better still, everyone, because some people even at younger age are being forced to be responsible and take some
Yeah.
tax up on their own. So I feel like even as an adult or anyone that have been placed in that position, early or older, we have all come to a realization and a better understanding that passion is very important for whatever business we want to venture into. Like, it's considered like a very absolute necessary element. Like, on that road to success, you need to have that passion for what you are doing, because if you're only seeing it as one way, then you're not going to be able to last on a long run. As you just said, like, on a long run, the person might just give up and move on to something else as well.
I'm saying
So I believe
I'm saying somebody's comment. The person is saying, like, trying to quote and unquote, like it was passion. Yes, I'm not saying that passion is not involved, but then there's a ratio to it. There's a ratio to it. If you're saying passion, yes, it was passion that dragged you, that pulled you into your craft. But then no be passion go put food for your table. Sure you get.
Yeah.
Sure you get. Passion won't put food for your table now.
Yes.
You need to monetize, you just monetize that at the same time. Passion for your table. So I'm not saying it's not passion. Don't get me wrong. But then when there is passion, you have to, like, sure you get passion put food for your table, seriously. So just get it, just the two together, big.
I think the person also said, I tell you, Sapa, then I wrote it was a passion. So I just saw it as well. Okay, so let me ask, will you say age is a factor in entrepreneurship? Like, just in a layman's word, age is actually a factor in an entrepreneurship, right?
Yeah, it's a factor. It's a very huge factor, actually.
Right. So as an adult, we go through different stages, different phases in our life, psychologically, socially, personally, economically, any factor you can think of, and they're all influencing us in different ways. So in your own word, what influence would you say adulthood have on businesses?
Experience, actually. Experience, and then basically experience, because if you and then the sense of responsibility. Should I understand? Because if you are not if you need to like, because the more you grow, the more you get that experience. Should I understand? So the more you that's when you gather more experience, and then it's going to, like, just give you that knowledge. Should I understand? So it's just, basically, to me, it's just experience.
So with your own experience, how have you, or how do you navigate adulthood and entrepreneurship in your everyday life? Just give us like one or two tips, whichever.
See, the thing is, one thing about me is, like, I like to plan a lot. So once, if you are trying to navigate your adulthood with your with your business or your craft, you have to, like, have a proper plan. You understand? That's why I don't work without bookings. I don't do workings. I don't do work, because that time that you are walking into my studio, that you want to have a particular session, I have those times fixed for other things. You understand? So it's just like, if you are trying to navigate what do you call it, your adulthood with your entrepreneurial life, you just have to, like, have a proper planning, so that the two does not conflict. You understand? The two does not one does not disturb one. Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah.
One does not disturb one. You understand? So you just have a proper planning for your day-to-day activities. You understand? What I want to do in the next 2 weeks, in the next 1 month, the next is already scheduled for. You understand?
Yeah.
If it does not happen, in fact, there's a room for contingencies, like unexpected events. You understand? So those are the times that, okay, I take my nap, I just probably decide to watch movies. Those are my leisure times. Watch movies. If anything pops up during that time, yes, I know that I already made that time out. You understand? So
okay, so let me add this as well with scheduling, having a specific time, working time, as you stated. Let me add that for me, I would say creating a balance, which is also almost the same thing as having a schedule for your daily activity. Then also having discipline and being a problem solver, like one way or the
Yeah.
other. That has been a way how I've been able to plan and navigate my adulthood with my entrepreneurship life, because it's not an easy task
It's
to
not,
balance one's
actually,
personal
it's not
life and business life. Like, it takes discipline for one
discipline,
to
though.
decide to come to a decision that, okay, I want to be more effective or be most effective with my position with myself in any place that I find myself. Like, I want to just effectively position myself in the right places as well.
Yeah.
So it takes discipline as well.
Discipline as well, yeah. If
Okay.
you're not disciplined,
Yeah.
you can't plan your life properly, actually.
True.
Yeah, so I think that the baseline of everything is just discipline.
Discipline,
You
planning,
understand? Discipline.
consistency, having a
Yeah.
balance with all this. Definitely will be moving forward and all that. So I wanted to ask one question, or just a simple contribution rather. So I had this topic with a previous guest. It was
That's what?
friendship.
Sorry.
There
Come
was a
again.
topic. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so I want to pick one previous topic that have been discussed before to hear your own insight on that. So
Okay.
the topic of discussion was friendship and entrepreneurship. So from your own point of view, do you think
But I'm
friendship and
setting.
entrepreneurship it's fine?
My
I know you're
studio
still
is
at work, right?
occupied, so I don't want to use it. That's
Yes.
why I came into the room.
Yeah. No, it's fine. So we're
Okay.
already rounding up as well. So I just want to hear what your insight is on friendship and entrepreneurship.
Well, this was a joke. Because one, yes, because
Yeah.
one, I used to like find it difficult to separate friendship or family from my business. I used to find it difficult. I think I just developed that courage like last year, 2022 or so.
Oh, really?
When something actually happened. Yes, it wasn't like I was mixing pleasure with
Yes.
with my job, but then there are some situations that just goes out of your control. You understand? That just goes out of control. Just be like, because this person is either your friend, is either somebody that you've worked day and night together, and then
Yeah.
so, and then I would back myself up with this quote that your business will thrive if your friends and family pay for their services. You understand? So if you see any friend, if you see any, so I already took my past years to like separate my true friends. I know the ones that are actually my friends will not want to like come and price me for free. You understand?
Yeah.
Even if you're not going to be paying much, I'll still give you a discount. But then you cannot come and price me for free and just come and tell me that because you're my friend, and then I won't do that. You understand? I'd rather not do that job
Yeah.
for you. You understand? You still have to like pay for my services. You understand? So it took me like a whole lot of how do I put it, determination, because
Courage.
at some point, and courage, at some point you'll be like a bad friend, and you'll be like you not be feeling bad, feeling sorry for yourself. Meanwhile you're doing the right thing. Meanwhile, you're doing the right thing. So it took me like a very it was a tough decision for me actually, but then I think I've overcome that already. I don't like mix. I never mix pleasure with business inside, but then there are some how do I put it, some situations that you cannot just like escape.
Right.
So you understand? Back then, not anymore now. So I'm way past that level.
Okay. So let me ask this question, which is like concluding question. So for instance, now I decide that I want to go into photography. I want to be a professional photographer and a creative director. What advice will you give to me as a newbie?
Yeah, I used to like tell my interns before they start, even though you have paid me. Like I'll ask them, are you coming into this industry because you saw that okay, Oluyaimagery is cashing out, or you saw that some other photographers are cashing out, the likes of the top photographers, they're cashing out. You're like, okay, that is money in this business. Let me just go into it. Say,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, if you have that idea in your head, get it first. Just keep that
Right.
idea first, because photography is, you have to like have passion for photography before you
Right.
can go into it. I
Right.
tell you, for like 6 months in 2018, for like 6 months in 2018, I did not live. I was just doing collaboration shoots all through, because I just wanted to put something out there, so that people see that this guy is not dead, he's still alive. You
True.
understand? So if you don't have passion, and you are just about the money, you understand, then you won't last in this industry.
True.
Because there are days that, so if as a young person that is just like wants to come into the industry as a photographer or as a creative director, you just have to like have the passion first, then develop your skills, creativity, after you have gotten your knowledge from wherever it is that you
True.
want to get knowledge from. You understand? Self-development is really, really, really is key. Is key, actually. I didn't learn photography from anybody, so it was just YouTube
Oh.
and ebooks. Sure, you understand?
Right.
But can you so if you don't have the passion, you will not last. Say you
On a
get, you will not last,
long
because
run.
if you are coming because of the money,
Alone.
the day the
Right.
money the day the money will not come, and
What will happen?
you are not at that level of the seniors that we look up to. Sure, you understand, the likes of Oluyaimagery, the amazing Clef, and the likes. They're not at that level already. Then see, I doubt if you spend 2 years in that industry. So the first thing you need as a photographer, if you're coming to this craft, is just like be passionate about it. Just have that passion. If you have that passion, every other thing follows. Sure, you understand?
Okay. Thank you so much for your contribution today. I was also checking through some comments, and I see some people dropped, letting you know, thank you for your honesty. Like, they're letting you know, yes, it's the passion, and they're all correlating and
Thank you.
relating
It's a
with what
pleasure
you
to be
said.
here.
So thank you so much, Oluyaimagery. I think I've got the
Oluyaimagery.
Oluyaimagery. Oluyaimagery.
Thank you for
So let
having
me
me
just
too.
ask,
Thank you for having me
any
too.
last word? Do you have any last word you want to add before you leave us?
Last was, I would just like to like buttress what I just said last. The younger entrepreneurs out there, the younger ones out there, the things that you need to survive in this industry. I just basically, that you need to like identify your market first. You understand? Know your
True.
audience. If you know your audience, don't underestimate the power of consistency. You understand? The power of consistency. Don't ever underestimate it, because consistency is key. Have a solid business plan. You understand?
Right.
Have a solid business plan, and then embrace, like you asked me initially, embrace feedbacks and criticism. You understand? If you cannot embrace that, I doubt it. You just be
Right.
fighting with your clients every day. You understand? Then you need to network a lot. Build a very strong network.
True.
And then you're good to go. You need to like network a lot. Really, really need to network. It helps a lot. Networking helps. It really, really helps. So
I feel like you're
that's just it.
advising me somehow too, because as you said earlier, being shy and being you as well, being used
This is
to
my
being
first. This is my
yourself.
first time. This is my first time coming on live video.
You see,
How did I do?
you did well. You did well. There was a lot of you were being yourself as well. You were being honest. There was no sugarcoating as well. The program is not about having a script word, as I said earlier. It's just about having a conversation, and like you answered every question. I got clarity and a better understanding as to some other areas that I asked about as well. So thank you so much. Thank you, Oluyaimagery. I must get the name. Oluyaimagery for sharing your story and insight on today's conversation. So that will be all for today. And thank you. And I'll see you, next week or maybe some other time.
All right. Peace out.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm signing out. This is Ovi, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
Own it, girl, you just own it.